friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by for today's video. Today's video is on the book Naughty Neuro by Karen Deen. This is the third book I've read by Karen. I know she has a previous series besides this one. The previous books in this series, which I have done videos from, and I will include, of course, in the comment section below, is Gorgeous Gyno, Private Pilot, and now we have Naughty Neuro. It's the same group of guy friends. Gorgeous Gyno is about Gray, Private Pilot is about Mason, Naughty Neuro is about Tate, and then there's a fourth friend, Lex. So my assumption is we're going to have a book about Lex as well. This series of books and this group of friends lives in Chicago, so of course they have a special place in my heart. I love how Karen drops those little pieces of Chicago in there, and like I talked about with my last video, it helps me connect with the story that much more when I can envision where the characters are, where they're going, where they've been, as far as scenery and the city and all that kind of stuff. So this series has been extra special to me for that reason. Karen has a keen eye for covers, and let me just say, and of course I'm going to put the cover, oh, it's usually over here. I'm going to put the cover up on the screen. Wow. When I saw the cover reveal, my mouth like dropped open and I was like, that's Tate. Exactly how I pictured him in the previous two books. It just fit perfectly for me. So the whole time I was reading this book, I had that cover model. Whew. You can read these as standalones, but I would recommend starting at the beginning with Gorgeous Gyno because we get to know all the characters in all the books. They all make appearances in each of the books so far, and I really like that. So I felt like I knew Bella and Tate already because I had read them in the previous two books. Arabella, Bella, is actually Gray's younger sister. I think there's a 10-year age difference, if I remember correctly. We met her in Gorgeous Gyno, and I really liked her. They have a great relationship. Gray is very much the older protector, big brother. Their mom has passed away. It's a theme that runs through this book, and it's also part of Gorgeous Gyno in that, of course, losing their mom at a young age, they miss her. Gray became a doctor because of his mom's cancer and wanting to heal people. That's how Gray has handled their mom's death. Bella, it was a little bit deeper, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So basically, Bella has known Tate her whole life. All of her early memories involve Gray and his friends. So they've known each other forever. We know that Bella has had a complete crush on him, and that when she gets a little bit older, it turns into that's the man that she puts on a pedestal. That's who she compares everybody else to. That's who she has fallen in love with from afar. What we don't know until we read this book, I mean, we had a couple of little hints, I guess, before, but that Tate feels the same way, but knows that that's his best friend's younger sister. And let me tell you, that is a trope that I enjoy because the angst is quite fun. And there's a lot of emotion that can circulate through a trope like that. I should also mention that the title, Naughty Neuro, refers to Tate himself. Bella is also studying to be a doctor, and come to find that she is going to study for a period of time under Tate's direction at the hospital. Of course, it's the same hospital that her brother, Gray, works at as an OBGYN. Tate himself has a pretty big reputation with the ladies in the hospital. In fact, the first chapter, it starts with a woman yelling at him, "You're a prick." So he's kind of a ladies' man. He has made his way through a lot of the nurses at the hospital, and Arabella knows this, but what is she going to do about it? I had a soft spot in my heart for Bella all the way through this book. There's so many things about her that I could understand, woman to woman. I really liked how strong and confident she was. I liked how she kept up with, in fact, she calls Gray's friends her extra brothers. Bella definitely stands on her own 2 feet, but she gets frustrated with her brother and how overprotective he is. And everybody sees that. And then she has these extra brothers, which are, of course, his friends that she grew up with, that he's still friends with and very much part of all of their lives. They're very interconnected, and they are very protective of her, and she's just getting suffocated. She's a smart cookie. She has a wonderful heart, but she kind of feels like wherever she turns, there's someone, one of them, standing in her way a bit. And now here she is, and she has to work under Tate. She wants to make sure that she doesn't get any favoritism, and she wouldn't expect any favoritism. She respects him as a doctor, and she wants the same. She wants to make sure that her fellow doctors that she is in rounds with respect her, but yet everyone knows that she's Gray's little sister, and also that Tate and Gray are best friends. So there's a lot of that going on, and I understood where she was coming from with all of that. We know that they like each other. We know they're attracted to each other. Tate seems to do a better job of keeping his feelings to himself. But here they are, they start working together, and look, we know something's gonna go down. Tate does mention something that I thought was really funny and very par for the course with what I was just talking about, with how overprotective they are of her. Gray warned Lex, Mason, and me the day she turned 18. Arabella wasn't the little girl we left behind when we were all away at college or forging our careers. She was off limits for anything except being his sister. No looking, touching, kissing, flirty, and definitely no, starts with an F, you know. And it's something that Tate takes very seriously, but yet here she is right in front of him, and they can't ignore it anymore. There were 2 spots in this book that really made my heart clench, and I felt my personal connection to the story. The first one is how Arabella talked about losing her mom and how that loss affected her through the rest of her life. She has an amazing relationship with her dad. She has a wonderful older brother and all these extra brothers that she refers to about Gray's friends. But what she doesn't have is female companionship. A older female in her life to help guide her and for her to be able to talk to about so many different things. And it really pulled at my heartstrings. And this is something she said. For a girl who lost her mom at the age of 5 to cervical cancer, there is always going to be a sad part of my heart. Lately, it just seems to be harder to settle the longing feeling of missing her. There are so many things she has missed in my life, but the worst thing is I don't have her to talk about the things you only want to share with your mom, the advice you long for. What would she say about my feelings for Tate? How different would my life have been having that female influence growing up instead of so much testosterone? Standing looking out the window, I try to picture what she would look like now. It's hard because I have very little memory of her before she died. I was so little, and it feels like all I know is what I've seen in pictures and heard in stories. It just broke my heart for her. The good news is that this story kind of runs in tandem with Gorgeous Gyno. And that was a big surprise to me. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I just kind of thought we were going to pick up, what I read in Gorgeous Gyno, I also saw in Naughty Neuro, in that Tilly, who becomes the object of Gray's affection, and Arabella really hit it off. And I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read Gorgeous Gyno. Tilly and Bella begin to form a relationship that is so needed on Bella's side and so wanted on Tilly's side. And even though it was sad, that part made me happy. The other thing that touched me a lot in this book was the fact that Bella mentions the ICU in the book. And she says, the ICU is an overwhelming place to be if you aren't used to or prepared for it. The noises from all the machines that are vital in keeping everyone alive are relentless. And as I was reading that, I could remember the noises that she's talking about. Unfortunately, my mom, before she passed away a few years ago, was in and out of the ICU and had brain surgery a month or two before she passed. And she spent a lot of time in the hospital. So something about Tate being a neurosurgeon, I don't think he's a neurologist. Is that the same thing? I'm sorry, Karen. I should know that because of what I'm going to tell you. I spent a lot of time in the ICU at Northwestern Hospital in downtown Chicago with my mom. And I had never been in the ICU before, thank God. So to walk in to the room and seeing your loved one after just coming out of brain surgery, and like Bella talks about, the noises and how overwhelming it is, and it's constant, and there's people walking around all the time, but yet the patients are very quiet and still. Ooh, that's a tough one. And that one, it like just shined a light on those memories for me. Like I mentioned, they start working together. They start a relationship that they're trying to keep quiet. There's a lot of stress going on about that. And then this added extra layer of Gray finding out, and neither one of them want to be each other's secret. The drama surrounding them working together took a turn that I didn't expect, and I loved that Karen surprised me with all of that. There's a sweetness to their relationship that I really liked. Their chemistry is off the charts. We don't have to wait long for that, which I appreciate. But like I mentioned before, for Bella, there's a deep-seated need that she has. And she says something about her feelings that I really liked. For the first time, I feel like I belong to someone, not just as a daughter or a sister who needs protecting, not the doctor who needs to save lives. I feel like I'm Bella, just Bella, and no one else. In this moment, I feel cherished. So Tate, he makes her feel cherished and seen. And I thought it was interesting that once he took that step towards her romantically, he was all in. He knew that they were going to do it. Oh, wait. Do it. He knew that they were going to go for it, that they were going to acknowledge their feelings for one another, and he was all in. But with Bella, even though she was as well, there were these other hurdles that she felt like she had in their way. And that, of course, is my favorite part to the love story, figuring out how two people find each other and how they make their way. Let me know if you have read any of Karen's other books in the comment section below. I will, of course, as I mentioned, make sure to put the links for the other videos I've done on Gorgeous Gyno and Private Pilot in the description box. So make sure you check those out when you're done watching this one. I want to also mention that I am having a party in my Facebook group on June 24th, so only a couple more weeks. So make sure you jump over to Facebook and join my group, Kat's Romance Readers. And what a great time to share some happiness and spread some love. I hope you'll come over and check it out. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.